Hey everyone, welcome to my series on JavaScript and jQuery programming, and today we're going to discuss how to add HTML controls dynamically to a page using JavaScript and jQuery. Okay, so let's begin. So what we have here is a simple HTML file created in a folder, and the file does not contain any code right now. I've just put the context of today's topic in this on the file, and it's basically an HTML file. So I've also opened the file in Chrome. As of now, the file is blank. So let's start by adding some HTML code to the file. So we're going to keep it simple. We have a HTML tag over here. We start with a head and a title, and let's just bring this topic in the title and close the title over here, close the head, start the body tag. Inside the body tag, let me just put a header over here which says click the button to add controls to page. Close the header over there, and let's put a button over here. Value click me, and let's put an ID to this. Let's say the ID is btn add controls. Let's end the body over there and end the HTML tag. Save it, come back to our Chrome and just refresh the file, and we have our header and our button over here. Now as of now, when we click on the button, nothing happens because we did not associate any on-click event to this button. Now whenever we want a certain button to perform any action on a click event, we need to add the on-click event. So let's first define our script. So we start our script tag here, put the language as JavaScript, and end the script right here. Let's just put a dummy function as of now and name the function as let's say button underscore on click. So this is how we define functions in JavaScript. Now inside the function, let me just pop up a simple message, a hello pop-up, and we end the statement with a semicolon. Now this is a very simple function which pops the message hello. Now let's try to call this function from the click event of this button. So what we're going to do is, there are multiple ways of doing this, so I'm going to show you one by one. The first way is we put on click right here and say button on click with the parenthesis set. Save it, go back to our page, refresh the page, and click, and the pop-up says hello. So that works. The other way is we remove this HTML attribute from here, and we can do this directly from JavaScript. So what we're going to do is document.get element by ID, and we put the ID of our button element over here. So ID is this is the ID property. Put this ID over here, and we say dot on click equal to, and we put our function name right here, and we end the statement with a semicolon. So now when we come back to our page and click the button again, the pop-up says hello. So basically we have, instead of putting the attribute on HTML, we have added the on-click event via JavaScript. Now there's one more way to do that, is to have a set attribute function method with the parameters on click, comma, and we put the function name right here with a parenthesis set and with a semicolon. Refresh the page and click me once again. It says hello. So these are some of the ways in which we can call or basically add a on-click event to a button. Now we know that this function is getting called, so let's remove the alert and let's do what we were supposed to do. So on click of this button, we want text boxes to be added to this particular page dynamically. So let's create a variable first, obj equal to document.create element. So document.create element is the method that we're going to use to create HTML elements for that document. So right now our element is input. So we create the object and we set the type of the object to text. And then once the object is ready, we go for document.body.append child, and we add the object right here. So what it does is, inside the document, inside this body, we have already h4 and we have a button element over here. So it will append this text element right after these two elements. So that's what the function will do. It will dynamically add a text box control right after these elements. It will keep on appending each time the function is called. Now let's save this, refresh the page, and click on this, and you can see every time you click on the button, dynamically text boxes are getting added to the page. Okay, let's clean this and let's go for a drop down. So for drop down, the create element, the selector tag is a select, and we don't need to put the object type as text, so we comment this. And now when we refresh the page and click the button, we can see the drop down elements getting added. Now since there are no values inside the drop down, it's coming in like in this way, but we can also add values via JavaScript. We can also add styling via JavaScript. We're going to discuss that in the future videos. Now in the same way, we can also add radio buttons. So we go for a input tag, and the object type is, instead of text, it should be radio. Save it and click on this, and you can see radio buttons getting added. Same goes for checkbox. Instead of radio, if you put checkbox, save it and refresh this, checkboxes are getting added. So in this way, we can use JavaScript to dynamically add HTML controls on a page. Okay, so now let's try to add few styling elements on this control. So let's go back to our text box control, object type text, save it, refresh the page, and let's see the way it's coming now. Now everything is coming in a inline block kind of way, right? So refresh the page, go back, and let's set the display to, so obj.style.display equal to block. So we'd like the text boxes to come one on each line. So when we click on this, you see that each text box is coming on a different line because we have set the style display to block. Now let's try to add width and height properties. We go for width first, and let's add a width of 400 dot style dot height. Let's go with the height of 30, and let's put some margin over there. So let's do for a style dot margin equal to 10, and refresh the page. Now you can see the style properties are getting applied. It has a height, it has a width, and it has some margin. So this is how in JavaScript you can add HTML controls as well as you can apply style elements to them. Okay, now let's try the same thing using jQuery. So let me just remove this entire thing, and we have the jQuery CDN link over here, and let's just start the jQuery construct. So we have document.ready function, that's the parent function. Inside that, we're going to define all our actions. So the first thing we're going to do is attach the onClick event to the button. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to use hash for IDs, and in case this was a class, we would have used dot. So hash btn add controls dot click, and inside that we're going to put function, and in the function let's just try the hello message just like before, and end this with a semicolon, save it, go back to my page, refresh the page, click me, and it says hello. So now this is working fine. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add a text box element every time the button is clicked. So we're going to use dollar quotation body dot append. So append is the function we're going to use, and inside that we can easily put the HTML markup over here. So let's just put a tag input type equal to text, save it, and refresh the page, click on this, and you can see that just like before we have text boxes getting added. Now we can easily configure the styling for this. So we are going to create a new object, let's say $input equal to dollar, and we refer to the input element we just added inside body, so that becomes the reference for this. Now For this input object, we define the CSS by passing two parameters, the property and the value. So in the property we pass display, in the value we pass block. Save it, run this, and we see that the style is getting applied. So this is how, using jQuery, we can do the same operations that we just did using JavaScript. Hope this video was helpful to you. Just try it out on your own. If you face any issues, let me know in the comment section. Thank you.